All right. Well, we are back in 2020.
Yes, we are.
So this is our 1 year anniversary edition.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since 2019 when Billy and I met in a jacuzzi. We'll just leave it at that. But we met up. We said, "Hey, we're going to do a podcast," and we kind of got together and just started going for it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, all topics, everything was on board.
Yeah.
And nothing was off topic or off limits at the point. So, how do you think the first year went?
Man, I mean, we just encapsulated a year's worth of life in 2019, 2020,
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like we set out, of course it's our interests, it's sports, it's health, nutrition,
Yeah.
it's spiritual growth and different types of, avatar upgrade type of, topics.
So that's kind of where we started. We were
Yeah.
like, and we were working with other business persons,
Yeah.
businessmen, businesswomen that had started their own business. We were kind of showcasing them for a while.
Yeah. Sales guys.
Yeah, the gentleman from the Halloween costume place.
Yes,
We had James
Charlie.
of Float State. We had Diego of the American Ninja Warrior show,
Yeah.
who now has actually really put together his whole training gym, a massive
That was
training
before
gym.
everything too, right?
Yeah, that was before
Dude.
all the stuff
Yeah.
happened.
Well, before he even had the gym he was on.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
talking about this is a plan. This is what I'm hoping to do.
Yeah.
And
I went
now-
and trained in his backyard.
That's right.
He had a pretty cool apparatus and actually a school set up in his backyard. And I thought it was super impressive, but he was talking about this big dream of having a massive warehouse and all of this
Yes.
professional equipment, everything you need to train for American Ninja Warrior or OCRs.
Yeah.
In that case, and it's happened. So congrats, Diego. That's
Yes.
awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, and it's just continuing to grow and grow. This whole coronavirus thing, it took everyone just for a wild ride. you
Yeah.
know?
So that's when things kind of got like really derailed for our show.
Yeah.
And for I think everybody in America and maybe all over the world.
Everyone just got sidetracked, and like I told you I recently cleaned up my Instagram
Yeah.
because I got sucked in. I got
Yeah,
sucked
yeah.
into and again, that's normal, right? Like
We all got sucked
we
in.
all got sucked in, and I wanted to just get the word out, like, don't fall for this. Don't fall for this.
Yeah.
That was like the main message of everything that I've put out, and a lot of people have certain things to say about what I'm putting out, but it's like, just observe and think critically. A lot of people during this whole crisis, they took a side, and like when you take a side, it's a trap. Like when you say I'm on this team, you've lost. You have to be able to observe what's happening and stay neutral.
Right. Well, from
Like-
a high level, as a wise person, look at everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't ever say that anyone or any group of people on this side is always right. Or
Right.
that side is always right. In fact, I'm the kind of person where I'm going to look at both sides, and in some cases I'm going to say I'm going to agree with these guys over here.
Yeah.
They've got a point on this topic, and then the next topic might be completely different. I'm going to agree with these guys over here, but I never just say I'm going with red or blue.
Right.
100% no matter what they say. That to me doesn't speak to my own intelligence, which is I want to find what's right and go with that.
That's it.
No matter what side it's on.
And new information is always coming out, which is then going to change your perception of how of what's going on. And so for someone to say this person, whatever they do, I'm against, or same thing. It's like you're now you're stuck in the battle versus looking at it and saying, you know what, at the end of the day, do we want war? Do we
Right.
want to fight? Is
Right.
is that the thing?
Right.
Like, and so, I went through this whole thing of like, man, and I've always kind of had this where like citizens are to children as government is to parents,
Yeah.
like, and people just, they fell for it, and
Right.
people are fighting, people are getting, their friendships are getting broken up, and, you know, you have these groups coming out with names that are so deceptive, and you know, the sentiment of the name is like something that we should all agree with, of course, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not
trust
that.
initiative.
But it's not that, you know.
Yeah.
They come out with this name, but they're doing complete opposite, you know.
Yeah, so that's what I think everybody should always have an open eyes in regards to everybody, whether it's a president, the governor, the mayor, an activist group. Everybody needs to really look at the facts. But just like in this topic, we got sucked in just now.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of got sucked into what's going on with COVID because we've seen the world change. So now, so then what happened is many of our podcasts became about either COVID or some of the surrounding topics of wearing masks or getting
Right.
tested or freedom of speech, and all of that stuff has come
Yeah.
into question. And now, you know, we've made it into 2020. All this stuff is still pretty much going on.
Right.
But I think a lot of people, at least I know I am, and you may be too. I'm just kind of tired of rehashing the COVID thing.
And this is the overarching idea. Do we want to war? Do
No.
we want to fight? And that's
No.
like, you know,
No.
when a child, when you raise a kid, you know, that's one other thing where it's like, dude, I wonder how many people out there setting buildings on fire and rioting and looting. I wonder how many of them are parents, you
Yeah.
know, because
Not many,
it's like,
I would think.
you know, when you rate, and I have Leo, he's 12, he's going to be 13. And then obviously I have Leia, she'll be 3, but you know, teenage years are tumultuous, you know, and I'm barely even creeping into it. And it's like, I gotta, you know, it keeps you on your toes. Like,
Yeah.
what's he into? What's his mind tuned into?
Right.
What's he looking at on his phone?
Right.
You know, the mind is so malleable, and like that's a beauty, because you can instill wisdom and values and ethics and creativity and love, and that's why it's awesome. You know, the mind, you can shape the mind. It's like Play-Doh. It's like clay.
If you're a good sculptor or a sculptor with good morals.
That's it. And so for the same reason why it's beautiful, it's also horrifying.
Dangerous.
Because you can instill, you've been victimized. You deserve this. You can have power if you want it. And you can, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these people out there, they're young. They haven't really seen, you know, the 50, 100-year lens of how these geopolitical moves are made, and they're just being influenced. And that's why I, you know, a couple weeks ago I said, dude, I had this like revelation. I'm like, this whole left-right paradigm is actually just a description of our brain hemispheres.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone has a part of them that thinks, I deserve that. Everyone has a part of them that says, this is not fair.
Right.
And I want to aggress, and I want to act out on my negative feelings.
Right. We all have a humble side, and we all have an egotistical side.
That's it.
You know, we all have a shy side and an outgoing side. You know, to some different degree. So yeah, we're always kind of warring inside with ourselves, like, oh man, I was a little too mean to that person.
Right.
And I really want to be nice.
That's it.
You know, that internal struggle.
And so this has manifested in politics at this point. And people are saying, left, I'm right, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you raise a teenager, and that teenager doesn't agree with how how the parents raise or maybe run their household. They don't burn the house down. They go and create their own house.
Right.
You don't like how things are run here?
Right.
Go and make a life for yourself.
That lives up to your standards.
So imagine if there were groups of people that were 17, 18 years old, all whispering around saying, hey, you know that big house that you grew up in? That could be yours. That could be yours. You know, like, burn it down.
that doesn't make sense.
Like what do you, like, this is like literally what's happening, and people are being led to carry out these crimes, and they're getting hit with 5 years, 10 years, 20-year sentences. And it's like, dude, do we want war?
No.
I don't think we do.
No.
Again, if certain people do, then okay, you're going to go down that road and it's going to lead like every other gang or whatever. It's drugs, it's jail or death.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, if
Like,
you're out creating havoc and causing destruction, it's going to happen. That's always what happens when you go out and do that. I mean, and you might have the best of intentions, but then when that's what you're doing, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be police brought in, and somehow you're going to lose freedom.
So we all know
yeah.
what good behavior looks like, regardless of what your stance is. Just be a good person.
I agree.
Like, that's it, dude. So yeah, we got sidetracked by coronavirus. We went into all those different topics, which everyone did. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and whether it's comedians or different subject matter type of podcast, business, everyone got sucked into this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your
like,
topic or purpose was. So I think that now, we went through a good portion of this, and maybe the dust has settled a little bit, and we're ready to kind of come out with a new angle that kind of is a lot more clear than maybe when we first started, right?
Yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year worth of staying committed,
yeah, man,
and consistent, and just doing that, and that's an accomplishment. It really is. Like, I was thinking this morning, I'm like, dude, like, we have 10.5 hours worth of just two men talking, like, and I don't know, that's crazy. Like, it's like writing a book, right? Like most people don't write books because it's like, oh, it's too daunting of a task. Like, there's no way I could ever do that. And it's like, no, you do it one page at a time.
Yeah.
You do it one conversation at a time.
Right.
And it's like, dude, now we have a whole library of content that's just, this is, I don't know. Like I said,
It's
always
a creation, man.
I take it back to like legacy and being able to pass down wisdom. Like, your kids, this will be available to them,
right,
whenever they want to learn more about their dad.
Right.
And,
wow. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So it's like, this is season one.
Season one.
Season one. And I feel like we need to kind of evolve as a podcast and start being able to actually give value, like, to people. Like, right now we're having these conversations, and I think they are crucial. I think discourse is everything that we need, like, we're going to continue to do that, but we also want to be able to lead people and give them solutions,
right,
actionable things that they can do to upgrade their life.
That's it.
So
when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about our new direction and how Cut the Slack is going to tighten it up.
Yeah.